Hi, it's Mike, and thanks for joining me on this quick tutorial video on Moodle Gradebook. So what is Gradebook? It's a one-stop shop for you to put all your course assessments in one place. And that will allow you to do online marking for each of the assessments, and then once you've done that, you can reveal all the results to the students you want to reveal the results to. From a student perspective, it's a one-stop shop for their results, so they can see how they're progressing through the course, which is always a good thing. From your perspective as a teacher, then you can download all the results into an Excel spreadsheet. Bearing in mind this is all done online, so there's no toner or paper required for any of this process. There are some decisions that you need to make though before you set the gradebook up. So first of all, what type of assessments or assignments are you going to need from your students? Are they simple quizzes? Are they verbal exercises? Are they written essays? And so on. So you need that pinned down before we go into the gradebook itself. And whatever the assignments you're going to request of the students, then do we need to categorise them? And I'll come on to categories in a moment. Do you need to weight each category, or indeed do you need to weight each assignment, sort of depending on its difficulty? And then finally, what you need to do is figure out what type of grade you want the students to see when they get their results revealed to them. Is it the actual marks, so 79 out of 100, for example, or do you want a percentage shown, or indeed do you want something like A plus, B plus, C minus to be revealed as well? So those are the decisions you need to make in good time and before you start playing with Gradebook. So let's see how we do it. When we're setting up a brand new course in Moodle, in the first settings, or in the sort of editing settings, under Appearance, there's an option where it says Show Gradebook to Students. And funnily enough, the choices are yes or no. So what I do suggest is, if you've got many assignments on your course, you put them all in one Moodle course, and that would be easier for you to manage and also for the students to know where to go for their next assignment. Okay, so if you miss this in the sort of when you're setting out the sort of your Moodle page, then later on you can go to the cog in the top right hand corner of the page and turn on edit settings, and you'll scroll down to Appearance and then change the Show Gradebook to Students as required. Okay, so again, using the cog feature, come down 4 from Edit Settings, you'll find Gradebook Setup, and this is the page that is revealed. And at the moment, there's a sort of drop-down box saying Gradebook Setup, and there's many more features in there that you can play with later. And you'll see Add Category, Add Grade Item, Add Outcome Item. So what I'm going to do is go to, in the drop-down menu, find Course Grade Settings, because on this demonstration course, rather than giving the students an actual number, say 79 out of 100, or indeed a percentage, I want them to see what a letter, so like A or B plus, and so on. So under Grade Item Settings, click on the drop-down list, and I've selected Letter. And then on the same page, you'll find a drop-down called User Report. And these are the ones that I've had to change. You can see the ones in red boxes. The options that I've changed so that the students only see a letter, they don't see anything else. So show percentage is hide, show grades is hide, show letter grades is set to show, and show contribution to the total course is also set to hide. Don't forget to scroll down and click Save Changes, otherwise your changes are not going to be saved. Okay, back in the drop-down menu, I've gone to Letters now, and I've clicked View. And on the left-hand side, you can see the default letters that Moodle offers. So if you get 93% or higher, you get an A. If you get 90% or higher, there's a A minus, and you can see the deal. However, you can change this as required. So click Edit Grade Letters, and on the right hand side of this slide, what you can see there highlighted in the red box is override site default. So make sure that's clicked, and then all the settings are then changeable. Once you're happy with your settings, don't forget to scroll down, hit Save Changes as usual. Okay, so I've come up with this little scenario for this demonstration. So on my course, I'm going to have 5 things for the students to do. First, 2 verbal exercises. These attract 15% overall, and each is weighted. The first one is 35% weighting, and the next one 65% weighting. Why is that? Well, the second one will be more difficult, put the students under a bit more pressure. Then they've got 3 written exercises, 2 essays and 1 dissertation. So I'm going to weight the written category to 75% of the overall course, and I'm going to weight each written thing 25%, 25%, and 50% for the dissertation, because that's going to be the biggest bit of work that the student's going to be doing. And finally, I'm going to have effectively a student engagement award, where it's up to me to as the teacher to assess the students on how well they're performing. It could be more points for best progress and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to have a few points to award students as required. Okay, so how do we add categories? And don't forget, you don't have to have categories. I'm just showing you the sort of the long way, if you like. And so you would choose if these were required or not. So back in the gradebook setup, I would click Add Category, and you can see this on the sort of right-hand side in the red box, Add Category. And let's think about weighting these categories. I've already mentioned what I'm going to do in this demo exercise. And again, you can choose to do this if you want to. You don't necessarily have to do so. And in this box, what you can see, I've added 3 categories, one called verbal exercises, the second one called written exercises, and a third one called engagement awards. In the weights column, in the sort of central area, you can see I've ticked the 15, 75 and 10. So by ticking those, I can then change those weights. And please note that if you get it wrong, Moodle will tell you. So had I got one of those numbers wrong, i.e. they don't add up to 100%, then Moodle will give you some wacky figures based on what it's thinking. So that's adding weights to categories. Now, of course, we need to create some assignments. Now, this is definitely required, otherwise the students will have nothing to do. So let's have a look on how to do this. I would go to the course page itself and set up a topic area called Course Assignments, and you can see here I've clicked on Add an Activity or a Resource and then chosen Assignment. In the first assignment, I've called Verbal Exercise 1, and once I've set up that particular exercise, then I go to the Edit feature and click Duplicate, and I keep doing that, and you can see how this is going to build in a moment. So here I've got a list of assignments that I've effectively duplicated from the first one because they're all going to be pretty similar. Then, if we go back to the gradebook for that course, in the grader report, we can see how each exercise has built up from left to right. And on the Moodle screen, it's pretty awkward. It hasn't caught up with responsive technology yet. So you have to scroll left and right to see the written exercises and then the engagement setting as well. Okay, so let's think about weighting each of these assignments, and it's your call whether you're going to choose to weight the assignments. But in this case, because I'm showing you the sort of hard way, if you like, or the more challenging way to set up the gradebook. So on the left-hand side, you can see the initial concept that Moodle has come up with. It's offered 50-50 on the verbal exercises, and then sort of 33% for each of the written exercises. But I don't want that. As described in my sort of demonstration scenario, the first verbal exercise I want 35%, and then 65 on the 65% weighting on the second one. So in order to change those, you just click on the little checkbox, and then Moodle opens up the box so that you can make the change. So I've checked each of the 5 boxes, and then inserted 35 and 65 against the verbal exercises, and then 25, 25, 50 on the written exercises. Now, if these don't add up to 100, Moodle will tell you when you hit save, and all the numbers will be looking funny. So, what will the student see? This is the student view of the gradebook on the course, and effectively this is their user report. On the left-hand side, this is what they see in gradebook if you haven't hidden anything. Okay, if you haven't hidden anything. So they can see there's 4 columns. There's the grade item, what the assignment is, and then there's a grade column, then a letter column, and feedback. Now, in this instance, what I've done, I've made a mistake, and I've allowed them to see the grade. I don't want them to see that. I just want them to see the letter, and I can show you that in a minute. On the course page, the students can see, because we haven't hidden any of them yet, an assignment link for each of the verbal exercises and written essays. So let's control the results, control what the students can see and can't see. And let's first do this the manual way. In Gradebook, this is going back to the Gradebook, and you'll see from left to right on the first image at the top. By the way, you have to have turning editing on to see these. If you can't see them, in the top right hand corner there's a big button saying turn editing on. So within the gradebook itself, you need to do this for each and every exercise. So I've left it as it is for the verbal exercise, and you can see the little eye icon. So I've left that open, and in the bottom image you can see the student view, where they can see the blue link saying verbal exercise number 1. In all the others, I've clicked on the eye to close the eye, and therefore the student view, they cannot see those assignments in the gradebook yet. Okay, so you can hide and reveal using this feature in order to make sure that the students can either see the assignment or not in their gradebook view. Now, if we have marked the exercise, this is what the students would see. They'd see the link to the exercise. Now, because I've removed the setting that allowed the grade to be shown, all the students can now see is the letter grade. So this student, for this exercise, was awarded a C+, and then there's written feedback for the students. That's the student view once something has been marked. Okay, so controlling those eyes to hide and show is a bit of a sort of kerfuffle. What you can do to reduce the pressure on you, if you like, is to control the hide reveal by a date and time. So you would have told the students your results are going to be out at, I don't know, say 12 o'clock on a particular date. you can do this. So instead of clicking on the eye, we're going to leave the eyes open now. Okay, leave the eyes open and click on the cog next to the eye. That'll open up some settings and it'll say grade item, and most of it is grayed out. However, at the bottom of that grade item area there's a show more link, and I don't know why they've done this because it only opens up a couple of things, but yeah, find show more, click on that, and then what is then revealed to you is the hidden until feature. So you need to click on the enable checkbox on the right hand side, and then the date and time for you to reveal the results to the students sort of reveals itself, and you can change that date and time. Don't forget, I think down the bottom there's a sort of save changes as well, which I haven't included on this slide. So what will the student see? Okay, you can see at the very top what I did. I hid the student gradebook until 20:55 in the evening, because that's when I was making these slides, 4th of May 20:55. So the first image, the student view of the gradebook before 20:55, you can see that the exercise is grayed out. So if the student clicks it, it wouldn't open up. Right? It means that it's not available yet. However, after 20:55, then what the student would need to do is refresh the browser at the time, yeah, because then it will sort of reveal itself, and you can refresh the browser by pressing F5 or just pressing or clicking on the refresh button in the browser. So after 20:55, the students will see the original link and the letter grade that has been offered and the feedback. Now, do not, this is the big warning, do not use the manual method as well as the date time feature. Okay, use one or the other, but not both, because this results in a double hide. And a double hide isn't good because you think as a teacher everything is sorted out, but when the student refreshes the page at, in fact this instance 20:55, nothing will happen because you've hidden it manually as well as using this sort of daytime group. So use one, not both. Okay, and coming towards the end now, the students can also get the results by clicking the assignment link on the course page. And this is what they'll see. They'll see the feedback. They've got the C+. It was graded then. It was graded by him or her, and the feedback comments. Now, note the big red box here. You will either need to hide the original assignment link or control that link with its own date time restriction feature. And I've done another video on restricting things by date and time. So this link on the course page is completely separate to the link in the gradebook. There are two things. So you can either allow the students to just find it in gradebook or just find it on the course page, or both. And if you're going to do the latter, you need to understand you need to control both the links, both one in the gradebook and one on the course page. Word of warning. So that's it from me. That's Gradebooks in Moodle. My name is Mike Toft. I'm on Twitter, A Little Grey Hair, and on the web, alittlegreyhair.com. Thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe to this channel, that would be great, because whenever I sort of push another video, you'll get a notification. Otherwise, if you like the video, please click like. And that's it. Thanks ever so much, and see you in the next video.